Hi everyone, thanks very much for joining me. I hope you're doing well. And also I hope you're keeping up with all my videos. I seem to be having a bit of a crazy month this June in terms of finding things, a lot of finds in thrift stores. I had that order come through from the Kino Lorber sale. And then just this last weekend, there was a huge community event that was doing a big yard sale. So basically about 20 blocks. People registered to do a big yard sale. It was all done on the same day. So yeah, I went along to see what I could find. Ended up walking 10 kilometers, just walking the streets back and forth, finding different houses. But yeah, I picked up 50 movies. So I will see if I can go through them now with you. This may end up being 1 or 2 videos. We'll see how it goes. First up, I found Ground Theft Auto, which is Ron Howard's directorial debut, produced by Roger Corman. Johnny Belinda, which is 11 times Oscar nominee and 1 win for Jane Wyman as Best Actress. 2 probably not too great horror movies, Screaming Skull and The Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman. This nice 4-pack of horror movies, The Funhouse, Phantasm 2, Wes Craven's The Serpent and the Rainbow, and the imaginative title about snakes, so yeah, I actually wanted it for this one. This is a TV movie that was out in the 70s, starring Strother Martin, and I also hadn't had a copy of Serpent and the Rainbow. I do have The Funhouse, and actually I don't have Phantasm 2, so good to have that one now. Capernaum, which is an excellent film that came out a few years ago about this streetwise kid here who is basically neglected by his parents, lives on the streets, has to look after a refugee and her son, and then when he finally gets arrested, he ends up suing his parents for giving life to him because it's not his fault that he's had to live such a difficult life. So yeah, really fascinating film. I don't know how they got the performances out of the children in this. It was just extraordinary, but yeah, superb film, Capernaum. Next up, a bit of Columbia film noir. Glad to have this one, Kiss of Death, starring Victor Mature. Now this one's famous for having a vicious performance from Richard Widmark, where he famously pushes a wheelchair-bound person down some stairs. Next, from the 70s, we've got a western here, The Culpeper Cattle Company, one of the early productions from Jerry Bruckheimer. Next, we've got a drama here from John Sayles, Sunshine State. And then pleased to find another John Sayles one, and this one's Honey Dripper. I'll be really interested to check this one out. This one features Gary Clark Jr. in the cast, the really great musician. I've seen Gary Clark Jr. in concert, but I didn't know he was acting in this film, so I really look forward to this one. I've got Black Peter, which is the directorial debut of Milos Forman, a Czech director who then later went on to direct films such as Amadeus and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Superb documentary this, Nostalgia for the Light. Really fascinating film of contrasts. It's basically dealing with the space monitoring equipment that's in the Atacama Desert. So it's looking at the point of view of, we're really interested in what's out in the stars, and we're trying to understand where life began, and we put a lot of investment into doing that. But at the same time, the Atacama Desert is this dry, barren place that has preserved life and bones and remains for centuries. And so there's this contrast there of people who are scouring the desert, trying to unearth bones and determine history from that. Yeah, contrasting with this sort of search for space as well. Really fascinating documentary. This definitely worth seeing. Happy Times. This is a film from Zhang Yimou, who was perhaps famously known for directing Raise the Red Lantern. But yeah, I like the look of this one. What a strange looking lady we have here. I don't know the film, but I look forward to seeing this. Queen of Katwe, which you can see on the Disney Channel. I really like this film. Lupita Nyong'o here and David Oyelowo. But yeah, this is a really nice little story about a young girl in Uganda who is a sort of chess prodigy. So yeah, really nice film, sort of based on true events. I've got King Richard with Will Smith here. Such a shame that he made such an arse of himself at the Oscars, because it really overshadowed just what a good film this was. I thought he did a really good performance in this, and it's a really good film about the Williams sisters. So yeah, King Richard. Agatha, directed by Michael Apted. This is a Warner Archive title. Dustin Hoffman, Vanessa Redgrave. This imagines what may have happened to Agatha Christie when she allegedly disappeared for about sort of 10 days during her life. So yeah, interesting film. Years since I've seen this, so yeah, I'll be looking forward to watching this one again. Widows, directed by Steve McQueen, and his Small Axe series recently came out on the Criterion Collection. I really encourage people to get that. It's superb. Now, Widows actually was one which I didn't fully love when I first saw it, but because it's Steve McQueen, I keep wondering why I didn't like it that much, so I need to just rewatch it, so I'm glad I now have it again. Vengeance of the Golden Blade from the Shaw Brothers, and this one's directed by Ho Meng-hua. I'm not sure if I've said that right, Ho Meng-hua, who also directed one of the films that I have seen so far on the Shawscope box sets, which is The Mighty Peking Man. Now, this is going to be a very different film to that. This is a sort of wuxia film, so not so much fighting in this one. It's more of a slower paced film, I think. But yeah, definitely look forward to checking this one out. Sketches of Frank Gehry. This is a documentary with Sidney Pollack, looking at the architectural life of Frank Gehry. He's an architect who designed such buildings as the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao in Spain. A bit of time travel here in Timeline with Paul Walker and Gerard Butler, and Billy Connolly, I think, is in this one as well. This one, Toute une vie, or known as And Now My Love, directed by Claude Lelouch. Claude Lelouch's most famous film is probably A Man and a Woman. Blu-ray here, this is Life Above All. This is a South African film. I'd be interested to see what this one is like. And Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon. Yeah, I did see this one at the cinema. It was good fun. And pleased to find this, Caliber 9, directed by Fernando Di Leo. This is the first of a trilogy of Polizei movies that he did. And I actually just checked this one out last night and had a really good time watching it. So I wish I had picked up some other ones. The actual trilogy is actually showing on the Criterion channel right now. It leaves at the end of June. But yeah, I enjoyed this one, so I'm going to watch the other two on Criterion channel. Another one here, look at great artwork, Milano Rovente. You have to say it in a voice like that for these Italian films, Milano Rovente. And this one comes with a great additional bit of artwork here for this poster. Look at that. Una production Lombard Films. And then this one, which is The Black Belly of the Tarantula, a Giallo film. So this one sounds really interesting. This one happens to feature 3 Bond women. We've got Barbara Boucher, Claudine Alger. So Barbara Boucher was in Casino Royale. Barbara Boucher, who was in Thunderball, and Barbara Buck, who was in The Spy Who Loved Me. So yeah, this one should be quite fascinating. Nebraska, Alexander Payne movie here with Bruce Dern. A Kino Lorber title here. We've got Witness for the Prosecution, directed by Billy Wilder, with Charles Lawton there and Marlene Dietrich. Another Fox film noir here. This is Dangerous Crossing with Jeannie Crane and Michael Rennie. Really pleased to get this. I saw this at the cinema, enjoyed it a lot. Your Name. Mike Lee's Mr. Turner, starring Timothy Spall. Sadly, she's just passed away, but this is one of her famous ones from the 70s, A Touch of Class, Glenda Jackson here, with George Segal. She did a few films in the 70s which are sort of comedy-based, some of them with Walter Matthau and a couple with George Segal. But yeah, this is one of the more famous ones, I guess. But yeah, many years since I've seen this. Jim Cummings' film Thunder Road. I do like this one, particularly for his opening monologue in this, which is quite amusing. But yeah, Thunder Road. This is a great Kelly Reichardt movie, Certain Women, with Kristen Stewart. At last I can hold up a Kristen Stewart film that I'm not too embarrassed about, having previously shown you Charlie's Angels and the Twilight ones. But yeah, Certain Women is a great movie. Michelle Williams in this as well, and Laura Dern. But yeah, this is split into 4 different stories, but they do have a bit of a connection to them. Yeah, good movie. This one, The British Invasion. This is a 5-disc or 5 different features documentary. So basically what we're looking at here is the Beatles, A Long and Winding Road, the Rolling Stones, Just for the Record, Brian Epstein, Inside the Fifth Beatle, Inside John Lennon, and The Who, The Vegas Job. So yeah, these are all 1960s documentaries about the Beatles, the Rolling Stones and The Who. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. This one, I Served the King of England. This is directed by Jiri Menzel, who is perhaps most famously known for directing Closely Observed Trains. A Disney title that's not showing on the Disney Channel. This one's from 1983, Night Crossing, with John Hurt, and this involves trying to get a family out of East Berlin. Not really one for all the family. This is a double feature. I've got Kids here, the Larry Clark film, and Law of Attraction, based on the Bret Easton Ellis novel. But yeah, Kids, I have seen this one before. Quite a disturbing kind of film, ultra realistic. I don't know how they did it, but yeah, basically Larry Clark's film there of young kids who are probably only around sort of 12 or 13, but you know, getting into sort of sex and drugs at a very early age. Yeah, very good film, very hard hitting, but yeah, quite difficult to watch. Pet Sematary, this is the remake, not the 1989 one, so I haven't seen this. Now this one's really a blast from my past. This is The Water Babies. Now, and when I saw this, it suddenly took me right back to being about sort of 6 or 7, I guess. So this is directed by Lionel Jeffries, who also directed The Railway Children. But this is a mixture of live action and animation. I'm sure it's probably very dated now, but nonetheless, I had to pick it up. And then we have this one, Another Day in Paradise, which is also directed by Larry Clark, who did Kids. And this one stars James Woods and Melanie Griffith. Okay, so I've whizzed through those. Please do let me know in the comments what you think of these movies. Do you know these movies? Have you seen any of them? Do you want to see any of them? Yeah, how do you feel about them? So yeah, like I say, that was a pretty fun find for me. I mean, it was a great day of just walking around and seeing what I could find. And nice to get a real mixture of movies there, international movies, you know, more common titles, whatever. It's great when you can find a whole mix of things that you're not used to coming across. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Please do come back for some more videos. That should be it now for the haul videos, but who knows, see what I find this next weekend, I guess. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me. Please do come back for more. All the best. Bye bye.